Hello, everyone. Today, I'll be talking about something that's very close to my heart, actually. And I'll be starting with a story. The people who know me from school, you'd know this story. Well, in school, I was a completely different person. I had created this personality of this jester, this funny character. If you'd watch Friends, I'd created a Chandler for myself who was people pleasing, who was doing everything with the perspective of being accepted by other people. And I remember this word jester very specifically because my English teacher called me that once. And why she called me that is because I was just sitting in class and distracting everyone. Not once, but all the time. And she would switch my seat. She would make me sit with the most studious student in class, and I would still manage to like make him laugh or something and distract the whole class. So I had this whole personality, and I literally was not focused on myself. I was not focused on studies. I was not focused on improving myself. All the things that take priority in my life right now. So, how did I make this change? Well, when the lockdown happened, I had a lot of time to myself. And I actually got to understand myself, who I am as a person, and the facade that I had created, it just faded away. So, what all of you can learn from this is that when you accept yourself, your most authentic self, when you accept all the bad you have done, when you accept all the good you have done. So, once you accept yourself and once you understand yourself for the person who is sitting here right now, that is when you can be on a path to progress. That is when you can truly change your life. That is when you can truly accept yourself and love yourself. And I know everyone wants that. And I know the people who go out, who are socializing, who put on a front, I know deep down you realize that this is not you. This is not your most authentic self. There is this voice in our head that keeps telling us, this is not me. But we just push it back. We just push it back because we want to be accepted by people. Obviously, we do. We're social creatures. Obviously, we want acceptance, you know? But it's so important to accept yourself in solitude first, Ac- to discard other people's opinions. Try this one thing, okay? Whenever you're driving or whenever you're in a car alone by yourself, don't listen to music. You turn on that music, everything gets pushed back. But if you're driving a car and you're not listening to music, literally it's a therapy session, I'm telling you. Because when you're sitting at home and you're trying to meditate and all of this, you're sitting in a still place. But when you're in a car, you're constantly moving, you're constantly moving forward. So it gives you a perspective in your head that things are moving forward. And that is what leads you to introspect more about your life, about how things are going to be going forward, about how things are in your life right now. Because when we're alone with ourselves, we tend to go to the past. But how is it in a car? We rarely look at the rearview mirror. Our focus is towards the front. Okay, so you will be thinking about your future, you will be thinking about the present moment where you are right now because you need to be very present while driving, right? So, this is the perfect way of understanding yourself, and I think all of you should try it out because I do it a lot. Obviously, not all the time. Whenever, like, sometimes I do like listening to Russ or someone like that. On that note, I would like to address something else. Whenever you are listening to music and you're listening to all these degenerate rappers who talking about sex, drugs, alcohol, you know, and hooking up and stabbing people, all of this is subconsciously affecting you, especially when you're in a car because you are so present in that moment. All that is going directly in your subconscious. So whenever you're listening to music, don't just focus on the beats or if the beats sound good or if the flow is really fire. Focus on what the person is actually saying, because whatever he's saying, you're subconsciously inputting that in your life. And imagine how many times you've listened to these songs, because all these songs are very mainstream. They push all these agendas on people. They want people to be listening to these degenerate songs so that your quality of life degrades. Okay, if you think of this very consciously, what society is structured around is making people work. Okay, when you work, you create income. When you create income, economy grows. When the economy grows, the richest people become even more richer. And who controls society? Who control governments? It's those richest people. So they don't want you to have that level of self-awareness. They don't want you to be able to push past your limits and grow and be the ideal version of you that you are supposed to be. They just want you to live like rats who are just making them money and not thinking about anything else. And genuinely, because of this, most people don't even have the time. Like, I had these big ideals that, the people who are driving these rickshaws and the people who are selling fruits on the streets, I wanted them to be aware of these bigger agendas that are going on. But they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They're barely able to feed their family. That's what they're focused on. And the reason they can barely feed their family is because of this whole structure. So, even you listening to me here, you are privileged. You're privileged to be able to have a device on which you can listen to me. You're privileged to be able to understand this language we're speaking in, English, which is also another whole rabbit hole which we'll go down later. But the basic point is, appreciate your life. Appreciate all the things that you have in life. Have gratitude for them. Because most of the times we tend to focus on the negative. We tend to focus on the things that we don't have. But if you look at all these people who are just struggling to even feed their family, it gives you a whole new perspective on life. It makes you realize that all that you have, it's a blessing from God. It's a blessing that you have all of this. It's a blessing that you get to live the life that you live. And once you operate from this mindset, that's when you can actually make a change. That's when you can improve your life and you can be the best person you want to be. And is that not what you want? Is that not what you want, to be the best that you can be? To be better than you are right now, you know? And honestly, the person I am right now, I am so grateful to Nakshay 2 years ago, who struggled so hard to be this person, to even look like this, to speak like this, to have this confidence, to not care what anyone says or what anyone thinks of him. Like, even right now, I'm here to teach you guys, I'm here to share my experiences. But whatever you think of these experiences, if you think them to be cringe, if you think this video to be cringe, if you think that I'm sitting in my bedroom recording a video to be cringe, I don't care, because I am confident in myself. And this confidence has not just appeared out of somewhere, I have built it brick by brick. So that's what you have to do. And the first step in doing that is realizing what a great life you already have. Okay, and when you introspect and when you come to this conclusion that I am so grateful to be here, all your past grievances, all your past guilts that are holding you back, all your regrets, they just go away. You don't care, because you appreciate the moment that you're in. So all of the things that have happened, they have led you to this moment. Even the worst things that you have done, even those things, they have led you to this specific moment. So appreciate this moment right now, because it won't last for very long. Even a month from now, when you're looking back, you will be a whole new person. Especially if you listen to the advice I gave in this video. I know this is very unscripted and off the top of my head, but I hope you got some knowledge from this. And I am glad to be back. And also, I would like to apologize for my hiatus. You know, I was setting up this mic, it took a long time to set up, but I hope you appreciate me being here talking to you. I'm giving you my time, so I hope in return you can give yourself the same amount of time. Because one thing that most people don't do is spend time with themselves. We are so occupied with the external world, we rarely have time to look inwards. So, what I want you all to do is take some time and reflect on your life. Look inwards. See where you are right now. See all the struggles that you have faced to be in this moment, even if this moment is not where you would like to be. But the only thing you can do now is take the next step, is move in the right direction. Even if your life is in the worst place, it can only get better. It's better if your life is, if you are at rock bottom, because the only place to go from there is up, you know. And that is what motivated me to change, because I thought, I don't want to stay this way. When I was fat, when I didn't have anything going for me in life, I just sat with myself and I thought, bro, what are you doing? You know? And it was so easy for me to change, because there was no other option for me. Either I could stay that way and, I could see where that future was going, or I could change. And once I became grateful for even that worst part in my life, that I was grateful for this worst moment, because that worst moment made me realize that I needed to change. So that worst moment was necessary, you know. So be grateful for things, be grateful for your family, be grateful for your environment, be grateful and be loving. When you approach life from this mindset, everything will change. And on that note, have a good day and take care.